Hello, and welcome back to my podcast, Filmmaking, Actually. Ta-da! Today, I want to talk about fading out the fade-in. No, that's just a cool buzzwordy way I thought I could say it. We just did the Space Dream Production Screenplay Competition. It was our first year. It was amazing. We got tons of submissions from all around the world. It was actually really humbling. I judged for some other screenplay competitions, so I've already read a high volume of screenplays, and obviously I've read screenplays like through our work. But these were all shorts, and there was such a wide range between the first one to get rejected and the winning script. And while, there's story notes and character notes and things like that, there's a couple of things that I wanted to just kind of note. This is going to be a very short episode, but I just kind of wanted to throw it out there. Not all films should fade in. Putting fade in at the top of the script. Okay, this is my opinion, completely and totally. To me, it looks really robotic and rote, a little bit thoughtless and slightly mechanical. Also, not every film should start with a fade-in. Not every film benefits from that. Some films, it might be cool if you hear it before you see it. It might be cool if there's some sort of opening graphics before it starts. Some films, it might be cool if there's visuals before you hear anything. Sometimes a hard cut is really cool. Sometimes a split screen. Like, there's 50 billion, trillion, zillion different ways to open a film, and the director and the editor should figure that out. Unless it's story relevant. If starting on a particular shot, maybe a film is about memory or something, and it kind of like slowly comes into focus, and it's a point of view shot looking like somebody's eyes coming into focus. And that's really, really relevant to the story. Cool. Put that in the script. But robotically putting fade in, scene 1, exterior, house. Like, I think it's time to fade that out. And as far as the rest of the camera direction in the script, screenwriters are writers. And this is my opinion, but it is a hill I will die on. Screenwriters are not editors, they're not directors. I cannot tell you how many times even I have written my own script, and it's something where I'm directing it, and I know in my heart, this is how it's going to be. And then we get into post-production and we're like, huh. Or something really cool happened on set and it gave us a shot that we weren't expecting. Or something really bad happened on set and we lost the shot we thought we were going to get. Having the flexibility, because the screenplay is the bones, like that's the skeleton. That is the baseline. You get rid of that skeleton and you have a pile of mush on the floor with no shape. So you technically shouldn't be changing the script once it's written, really, without going back to the writer, approving rewrites, etc. But write the things that are going to keep the story's shape. If changing something doesn't actually change anything, if you're describing every detail of this person's living room set, great. Now production has to go find that exact set and the budget has to accommodate that exact set. Like, is it because that was your childhood home and that's how you identify this character, so you think it would look cool? Or is it because there's some reason why that style of couch fits that exact moment, and if you change it to any other style of couch, it's going to completely rechange the entire story. I know rechange isn't a word. I was talking too fast. But it's important to do that. And I've had to go over as a producer on scripts that I've written even, where I'm looking at it from a production perspective, and I have to ask, producer Koura has to talk to writer Koura and say, do we absolutely have to have it like this? We had a scene in one of our features that took place at a coffee shop. It was cool and it was fun. And there's this really funny moment where a waiter comes up and kind of interrupts them. And it kind of like sets this mood, but it wasn't vital to the story. The conversation between the two characters at the coffee shop did have to happen. It was a vital pivoting moment of the story, but it didn't have to happen in a coffee shop. And the waiter interrupting them, that is a spoken line. It is a SAG day rate on a fairly expensive budget that is casting someone, that is paying for that person, that is paying the location fees and the setup and the company move just to have this one scene. So I looked at it and it could actually play in the character's living room. Exactly the same. It doesn't have the funny moment with the waiter, but it doesn't have to have the funny moment with the waiter. And it's an indie drama. We don't need to have So we moved it to the living room and it worked. And it cut out thousands of dollars and all we did is change the location for that one scene. So when you're writing, yes, it is more interesting sometimes when you see the characters in different places in the world, but is it necessary? Do you really have to? Do you have to fade in? Do you really want the film to start with a fade through black, or are you just writing fade in because that's what they taught you in school? No offense to schools, but just something to keep in mind. I think we can lose the fade in from the opening line of screenplays. Yeah, that's it.
You've been listening to Filmmaking Actually with Koura Linda, Space Dream Productions podcast. Subscribe to us on any or all the podcast platforms. If you like what you hear, leave us 5-star ratings and positive reviews on iTunes. It helps more listeners like you discover the show. But the best thing you can do if you really like the show is tell a friend. Want to leave a comment or ask a question? Email at filmmakingactually@gmail.com. This is Spacey speaking, and remember,
now my story's full of thrills, chills, action. You're my main attraction. I feel my pulse be quickening. I know the plot is thickening. Fade out, fade in, I've fallen in love.
and we'll see you next time.